Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good
Hello.
evening.
Hi.
How's everybody doing? Welcome
Papa,
to another chat for the Blue Bookmark. I've got Susie and Sarah here with me, and I'm Megan. If you're joining us for the first time, if you're not
Hello.
subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and then if you hit the bell, you'll be notified anytime we go live or post anything. And what we learned today is we need to rely on more platforms than just Facebook to be able to reach you guys. So I was
Craziness.
freaking out today, making sure that our people were going to know.
Yeah, I'm glad that it kind of got up and running again, like right at the last minute.
Gotta fix it. Yeah. Like, what is happening?
It was so weird not talking to you guys all day long.
I know.
I know. At first I was like, man, they're quiet today.
We're just going to have a text chat instead of a messenger chat all the time because that didn't work for me. I was lonely.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you got that,
something,
Trisha.
and I was like, I can never see it.
Yeah.
So
I'm just adding this in the group.
What is happening here?
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm
awesome.
sharing.
Comment and let us know if you're here. Because I can just see how many is on. I don't see who is on.
Hold on. Just getting it shared in the group.
Awesome. I don't think as many people read The Sweetest Remedy as they have in our other books.
Thriller.
Yeah. I think are people afraid of romance?
I think because it wasn't like advertised as a romance, it's like contemporary fiction, right? It was like
I think this one got contemporary fiction.
Yeah, those like contemporary fictions where you're like, okay, what is contemporary fiction? Like people like it to be in like boxes, I think. That's how I am. Like I'm like, is it a thriller? Is it a romance? Yeah. And this was kind of like ambiguous, so I think it's less popular.
Yeah, I need a better label than
it doesn't fit in one of those. They just stamp it contemporary fiction. Like it could be a little bit of anything. Because yeah.
Oh, here's comments. I was on the wrong tab. Hi, everybody. Hi, Trisha. Hey, Sarah.
Okay, who is ASU Chick?
Also, my old school YouTube account. Awesome. Hi,
Audra. So you'll have to tell us who you are. Now, one thing I did do today was created a Google form, and I'm going to post it in our group. Oh, hey, Amy. I'm going to post it in our group, and it just asks, like, what your name is, your email address, and your Goodreads link. And hopefully people will fill it out and then send it back, so then we can have email addresses, so that way, you know, we don't have to depend on these platforms. We can, whatever happens, we have our book club still.
Yeah. And we promise not to spam you.
Yeah.
No, I swear I will not be sending emails every day. I promise. But you know, I mean, Google has that the blogger that you can just connect to your like your Google account, and you know, YouTube's all connected in there, so we can post anything, all our challenges, everything like that on our blog.
Oh, cool.
And then that way we don't have to depend on any platform. We can get a hold of you whenever we need to.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Alicia.
I'm glad to see so many people got the Goodreads message, because I didn't know who was in that group or if people even check those messages. So that makes me feel really good you all got to see those.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
I was scrounging. I didn't know what to do.
Because I'm on Goodreads all the time.
That's true. I think, Sarah, you saw my comment in that Goodreads Society group a couple of weeks ago where they're like, how many times do you check Goodreads? And I was like, at least 15 times a day. Yeah. Like, what are these people like once a week? I'm on there at least 15 times a day.
Yeah.
I know. I'm on there a couple of times a day.
I can't even walk through the library without having my Goodreads app open so I can look up stuff.
Same. So what did you
Yeah,
guys
do I
think
want to
of
read
this?
this? What is everybody saying about it?
What? What'd you say, Sarah?
Oh, I just like to see what everybody else says about
Oh.
the book. Like, do I want to read
Yeah.
this? Do I not? Do I want to add it to my list?
Yeah,
So I'm
same.
on there a lot.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of this book? I'm like, where's my book? I'm using it as a like desk right now. Feel
I
like
really enjoyed it.
here it is.
Yes, here it
Yeah,
is.
I gave it
I really liked it.
I gave it 5
I gave it
stars.
4.
I give it 4 too. I really liked it a lot.
I gave it 4. I really liked it. I like the dynamic. I like the setting, the Nigeria setting. I thought that made it a little different than, the others.
Yeah.
And I really liked that. I really liked it.
Now, Audra, when you say you don't like the writing, what do you mean?
You thought it was pretty good. Jill, did you read Ties That Tether? Those of you guys who read Ties That Tether, how did you think it compared? Did you like it more or less?
I don't. Oh. I liked them about the same. I think I gave them both 4 stars, but I really enjoyed both of them. So I think I might like Ties a little better than this one, but
Exactly
I think it was
what
more
Amanda
romance
said.
and Ties That Tether than this one. But I enjoyed both of them.
Audra, I can completely understand what you mean by that. It did read. Someone said it read like a young adult. So, I mean.
I could see that. It did have
But
like a
when
very
I
easy way to read. Like, you know what I mean? It was easy to read. And that was something that I liked about it.
It was an easy read. Yeah.
I think I probably gave it 5 stars because of maybe an emotional attachment, not so much as like a literary critique or like if I really sat down and looked at, yes, the writing, some Insta things that happened and some different things, probably I should have given it a 3. But I think because of some personal things, I felt attached to this book and I loved how it kind of came together at the end. That's probably why I gave it as high as I did.
Yeah.
I mean, if I compared it to like The Nightingale, which is a true 5-star for me, it doesn't even touch. But I read it in one day. I couldn't put it down. It made me laugh and cry. So it got a 5-star.
Yeah. I don't think every 5-star needs to be like they're not all like created equal. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I guess I gave it 4 stars because I don't know. Ties That Tether made me cry. And that's like, it just was like, gave me every feeling. And I didn't quite get that from this one. But I still really enjoyed it.
Do you think that if it was a different author that wrote it, your rating would have been higher because you know what she's capable of?
Yeah, maybe. I think as I was comparing it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Someone was crying.
A lot of crying.
There was.
But I mean, that's kind of an emotional thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I guess but golly, some of them were brats, but I can understand why they were, I guess. And in this whole big world, how crazy was it that they were talking to each other whenever he got the phone call that her dad that she didn't know died. And he's not even from that country. Like, what?
Yeah.
What are the chances?
That was the biggest coincidence. Yeah. Biggest coincidence ever, but all right.
The whole
you just have to roll with it to get the story going.
Is that what you mean, Sarah?
Yeah.
Like that they met in San Francisco.
Do what?
I thought that was like,
yeah,
it was a little bit like too much of a coincidence for me.
Right.
Very specific. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that it was also not necessary. Like I thought that she could have just gone to Nigeria and like met Lawrence and he could have been like an unfamiliar brand new person. That was his name, right? Lawrence.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Lawrence, yeah.
And it would have been the same. Like, I just didn't think that coincidence was necessary. Oh, you love the serendipity?
Yeah. I didn't either.
Speaking of serendipity, I love that movie, and it's almost time to start watching that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I always have to think about that. But yeah.
The insta love. What Jill's saying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about like the family kind of, I mean, not every family member welcomed her with open arms, but a bunch of them did. I don't know. I had like kind of a hard time accepting the relationships between the family and Hannah. Like on the one hand, there were like the girls who were really excited about her, and like, you know, I kind of felt like if I were Hannah, that I wouldn't be like excited to like hear all the stories about this dad that I never got to spend time.
Yeah, because you're right. Because like one of the twins was like, "Yeah, your sister," and the other one was like, "A sister," and then the other was like, "No."
Yeah.
But you know, I think all families have different personalities, so it kind of showed, you know, who they were. And like she mentions later on that she gets a piece of her dad since she never really had a relationship. You know, she can see what he's like because of, you know, the other kids, because they all have like a different personality for them. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, oh yeah, you're my sister. That's fine. Forget that my dad cheated on my mom and didn't tell us about it, even though he knew about her 28 years. So I think I've been looking at it, but you know, some of them were like, he's dead. What can you do? Just accept it.
What did you think, Megan? Did you feel like, I don't know, did you feel like if you were Hannah, you would have like want to know? I don't know. There were like a lot of scenes where like the family member were like, let's sit around and reminisce about dad and like hear about what a wonderful father he was when he was.
So like this is where it's kind of personal for me, is because I actually have a grandfather who doesn't have anything to do with us at all, but he does have stuff to do with my uncle's family and their adopted grandchildren. So it's like, why does he have a relationship with those adopted grandchildren but not with me? And so like I don't really care anything about hearing from those kids. Like if he were to die tomorrow, I know this is awful, but I really wouldn't care to sit and talk to them about how wonderful of a grandfather he is, because he's been a piece of crap to me. So, for Hannah to be like, exactly. And I came first, like.
And I think a lot of people would feel that way, though. So it surprised me that Hannah was like wanting to sit and hear about this man who chose not to, when what she thought was that he chose not to have a relationship with her. To me,
he could have tried harder too. Like, just because the mom said, well, I don't think it's a good idea. If you really truly wanted a relationship with your blood child, you could fight harder. And he did it.
Right.
So.
And he could have waited to 2 years, like when she was 18, and then come back, because then mom wouldn't have had a say, because she was like 16, I think, when he tried. Like, okay, well, I'll go back when she's an adult, or 21, you know, but she is, you know, she's not under her mom.
Right. She was an adult, like well into adulthood.
Well into adult, you know, so. I mean, I understand where the mom came from. Like, I let you in and you crushed her, you know, you broke her heart. And then, so I can understand her mom not wanting to do that to her again. I mean, I think she should have told her, you know, at least when she got older. But I do kind of understand where that mom came from. Like, I didn't want you to go through that pain again.
I do like how he left the house to her, though. And it wasn't trying to say, I'm trying to, like, take what my family's and give to you to make up for it. But like what they said, if this is your house, they can't kick you out of it, and now you have to be a part of this family. So he made room for her even though he wasn't there anymore. I like that.
I thought it was a good way to like bring them together, but it also kind of felt like if he wanted that so bad, I felt like he could have tried harder while he was alive.
He should have tried harder. And if
you
I was
know,
his wife, I
dying,
would have been ticked.
yeah, and knowing you're dying makes people do things that they like, makes them realize that how shitty of a person they've been. I'm sorry for cussing, but makes them realize how terrible they were, and they try to make up for it. So, you know, he felt convicted for something because he knew he had messed her over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing a lot of comments in the chat about, like, you know, if there were fewer, like Sarah was saying, if there were fewer characters, and Jill was saying if it had gone deeper, and Amanda was saying like how quickly and easily the conflicts were resolved. And I think it's like, it's a weird mix because, you know, it is such a short book, and right, it is like under 300 pages, I think, or like just 300 pages. So it's like such a
I
short
think it was right around 300.
But it's like, I don't think I would have wanted it to be much longer or extended. But like, there were some things that were underdeveloped.
I think they could have left out.
Wrapped up.
They could have left out the boy sibling. He didn't add anything at all. His chapters were a waste, I thought. And they could have left out the twin that was like lukewarm, and just had the sibling that hated her and the sibling that accepted her. Just those two siblings, and then had some deeper conflicts, I guess, because there was a lot of fluff with the talking about all these siblings that really didn't matter.
Yeah.
And Amy was forgave people super quick.
Sorry, what'd you say, Sarah?
She said they apologized. I said she was so quick to forgiveness, like, oh, they apologize, it's fine. Like, no, your mom kept that from you forever. Your aunt told your father not to have you in your life. You know, I mean, there was some conflict. She's like, you know, they apologized, it's fine. It's like, let's move on. Which I guess is a great way to live your life, but it just seems like she should have had a little anger there, a lasting, you know.
Yeah, and Jill is saying about the mom. I was thinking about that too. If you had the mom, the nice sister, and the mean sister, and Lawrence, like, that's like enough, right? Like, because like, like the mom, I mean, they had one conversation basically where the mom was like, remember the conversation? It was like late at night, I think, in the kitchen, and the mom was like, "You're just here for the inheritance." And then she's like,
the stepmom.
And that was kind of like the only like interaction, right?
And she was like, "What inheritance?"
Like, I think she should have had more to say when. Right, like, you're my husband's love child, and now he's left you our family home, and she doesn't say anything. It was just the mean sister. Like, don't you have anything to say about that, stepmother?
Yeah.
So some things I thought she could have delved more into.
Yeah, like Amy just said, did we really need the love story in this? Do you think it would have been better had she left out that whole weirdness with Lawrence, or was that kind of like someone mentioned earlier, serendipity, like it was fate that she was a part of this family because Lawrence was presented to her in the beginning?
For me, I think I would have been a lot less interested in the story if there wasn't the relationship with Lawrence, just because like I like romance, and I really liked their relationship, and I think it also gave her like a reason to want to stay and be invested in this family, because I think otherwise it could have just been a like quick trip where she didn't really change as much. I think Lawrence challenged her.
It also gave her confidence too.
Yeah.
Because he was like hyping her up, like, yeah, she belongs here. She didn't feel so alone.
Yeah.
She's trying to what?
Yeah, and she had someone to complain to about her, the oldest sister that was mean, or the stepmother. You know, she had someone to talk to that wasn't in, I mean, He knew them all, but he wasn't like a sibling or, of course, related because, they would be. But so
There was a lot of weird themes, though, like where the tabloids tried to make it sound like incest because of Lawrence. But then also,
and that was
like,
kind of random too. Like, the
I'm
tabloids know about it.
sorry.
Like, but we never found out who told them.
Right.
Like, they just know. Like, how did they
And,
find
like,
that out?
I could not, being the age that I am now, look at any of my dad's friends and be like, yep, that's gross.
I know that was
thinking about Tiwa
that was weird.
And the uncle.
Yeah.
Sorry if any of my
my
dad's friends see this. You're attractive men, but no, that's gross.
Like, my dad may have a problem with it. Like, because you've been calling him uncle
that's
since you were a
nasty.
small child. Yes, Dad would probably have a problem with this. Your whole family should have a problem with it.
Oh my God, it reminded me so much of Friends when Monica is dating
because they mentioned that, Monica and Richard.
Did they mention that in the book? Yeah, it was like the
because
same.
she said the one episode my dad watched with me was the one where I was like, really?
I know, it was the one that Monica dated Tom Selleck. But I was like,
he was his age. They grew up together and they were friends. And I don't have a problem with the age gap at all. It's the fact that, like, she called him uncle and he was a part of her family dynamic. They were on vacations and whatever.
That sounds like something we would.
I don't have a problem with the age gap. No. I don't have a problem with the age gap except for when the grown-up knew them as a child. Because how does that change?
Right.
Like, oh, you're an adult now? Hi. No, I was like, you knew him as a baby. How does that affect
they were like
change?
best friends. Yeah. That was like his confidant.
Maybe I'm wrong, Amy, but I thought that he was like the dad's peer.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, I think that they just call them uncle or aunt, like, out of respect.
Right. I mean, I know he's not, like, actually related.
Yes, he wasn't related. That would definitely be a dirty book club.
Right, exactly.
Situation. No, it was an honorary title.
Right, but, like, we have people like that, like, were such good friends with my parents that I grew up viewing them as, like, an extra aunt and uncle, even though they were zero relation at all. They were
honorary,
on vacation, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I just could not, like, see that as I don't know, it's just weird.
That's what I was thinking too. Sarah said that she thought, I don't know if it's Deo or Dio. I'm not sure how to.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't remember. I listened to it on Audible and I still can't remember. But yeah, I thought he was like in his 40s and that Tiwa was in her 20s. Oh, he was 45. Okay. A lot younger than the dad. Gotcha.
Why did they make it sound like it was so taboo then?
Mm-hmm. I think it was more the relationship, like, that made it so taboo.
I think it was just
like that the dad wouldn't have approved of it.
Yeah.
Oh, the dad was. You guys remember a lot more details than I do. So thank you for reminding me. Okay, so Deo was in his 40s and the dad was 65. Okay, so significantly younger.
So then why were they best friends? I have to figure this one out.
What did you guys think about?
Yeah, I thought he was not. I don't.
Oh, go ahead, Sarah. Sorry, there's a delay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that they were best friends. I just thought that they had like a working close relationship, like, because he was kind of his lawyer thing. I just thought, he was just around so often that they had the honorary title. That's what I thought it was weird about it. But I don't think he was like dad's age.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I never got that they were best friends. I think that was the Friends reference, and she was like, "Oh no, they were close because they worked so closely together, and that's why Dad wouldn't approve."
Yeah, and I think if the dad had been alive and it was like, this person is around because I trust him, he wouldn't be like, oh, it's cool if you sleep with my daughter. Like, I think that's why she had so many, like, you know, it's like so many conflicted feelings about it. Yeah, I think you're right, Audra.
The reason why I got that is because he said, your father was my client. He told me many things, all of which I had to keep confidential. And apart from that, he was my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I took that as like
I said,
they
had a
grew up
long-term
together.
working
They were
relationship.
friends.
That group, yeah.
Yeah.
And then with the whole Richard thing, that just it added to me thinking he was a lot older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was picturing that.
It definitely pointed to making him seem older than what he really was.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Well, maybe that's not as weird, but because by the time he came around, she was probably like in her late teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would have made him in his 30s.
So that's not as weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
It's a little, but it's not like as weird as he was like in his 40s when she was 5.
Yeah.
Hanging around.
She was 5, yeah.
Hanging around,
There's
going on vacation.
Yeah, that's true. Varying levels of creepiness. Sorry.
Yeah, there's different levels, and that's not as bad. I can live with that one. That's funny.
Let's talk about the food fight.
I forgot I was in.
Funny.
There's a little comedy to it. It was funny.
I mean, I felt like that before. You just want to freaking throw something at their face. You have all these big emotions and you don't know where to put them all.
There's a lot of elements of this book that feel like a Disney story, and this was one of them for me.
That's funny. Yeah.
Like it definitely had that like kind of fairy tale feeling. Is anyone surprised?
Yeah, because if two girls really fought, they probably would have done with food.
Yeah.
And not teenagers. It probably would have been more hair pulling and, you know, a fight than, here, let me throw a cupcake at you. Oh, no.
Yeah.
My sister is a high school teacher, and she's like, she'll break up boys who fight, but she's like, I won't break up girls because girls are mean. They will go at you. Yeah. So she's always like, that. I leave that to the other teachers. She's like, yeah. And she's like, they don't care who they hit. They're just at it. And the boys, you know, are punching the boy they're fighting with, and they won't. But she's like, I will not break up a girl fight.
Oh, man.
Oh, do we think it's going to be a character series? Has that been announced?
Oh, that would be
felt like that.
Series? Oh,
I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
But I haven't been paying attention, so I don't know. Why do you think?
I'm pretty sure on the Goodreads it only has 2.
I was just like, usually it'll tell you it's number 1. And I don't remember seeing that.
Right.
I don't remember seeing that either, but I don't know. It felt like a little bit life lesson-y to me. You know what I mean? How it's like, now you girls are gonna stay and clean up, and then they like resolve their differences over.
And
it was
best
very,
friends by the time you're this. Yeah, and we'll be best friends by the time this kitchen is clean.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wrapped up pretty quickly in this book.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty short book. I don't know, Casey. Does anyone else know the answer to that question?
I don't know.
For motivation or inspiration for the story?
I'll look at the acknowledgments real quick and see if she says anything.
Yeah, was there an author's note?
There is.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There were questions.
I like her standalones too, Sarah. Would you guys want to read if this was the start of a series and these characters continued, like if the next one was about one of the sisters, is that something you guys would want to read?
I don't know. It
I don't
depends
know,
on what
'cause
else
we
is
didn't
going on
really
around the
get-
same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she didn't really delve deep into anybody else. She didn't feel like there was a side character you wanted to see more. At least for me, that I wanted to read more about the brother, or the twins, really. And
Yeah.
the oldest sister, who was most interesting, the mean one, she already found her happily ever after.
Exactly.
She
We
was
already
gonna
know
get
they're
married
getting
to.
married.
So I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to read
Yeah,
this.
I don't see another character to branch that off.
Yeah, I don't
I
really
would read
see
more from her, but I don't think there's any. I don't see a new one.
Yeah, I
I
agree
don't
with
think
you.
this was inspired by anything personally. I think she just wanted to write about just Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Oh, a TV series, not a
Yeah, she
book
said
series.
she just went to Nigeria.
Okay.
Right, I wouldn't buy it. Maybe I'd listen to it on Scrib or something that I didn't really pay for or whatever,
To me, Casey asked how it compared to Ties That Tether. To me, I like Ties That Tether more, but it was more romance based too.
There's
and
more romance
less,
for that one.
didn't you think, Sarah, that was more romance?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it was still about identity. I think in both books, she has themes about family and identity, but that one was more focused on the romance, and this one was more focused on family, I felt.
Yeah. And I thought the first one delved deeper, because there's some books where like, oh, they're so opposite, but they're not really that opposite. They just had a disagreement in the beginning of their, but they come from the same culture, they work at the same place. They're, they're really similar, but it's like, oh no, they're opposites. But in Ties That Tether, because he was a different culture and her mom had a real problem with that. It was like a deeper, they were like, maybe not so. Sorry, my dog's whining. They weren't so compatible. It seemed like, So I thought it delved deeper, more into an emotional level. Ties That Tether. So that's why I like that one.
Yeah, I did
Speaking
too.
of identity,
Oh, go ahead. Megan.
That's one of the discussion questions in the back of the book. It says identity is multifaceted. How is that portrayed in this book? When she went to Nigeria, she couldn't say I'm white. She couldn't say I'm Nigerian because she didn't know her background from really either. She didn't know how to identify herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that?
Right. And I think that's why she was so curious about getting to know her family. Because she didn't know anything about her culture, her father. So I think that's why she was so quick to want to get a relationship with her siblings, because of that, her identity.
Yeah, and remember,
that's an excellent question.
Sorry, go ahead, Megan.
You go, Susie, and then I will hold this thought.
Oh, I was just gonna say at the beginning of the book, there's some like annoying guy who's flirting with her and asks her like, "But what's your ethnicity? Like, what race are you?" And she's like so annoyed about that.
Yeah.
And then at the end, someone else asks her, right? And then Lawrence is there, and he was like, "She's Nigerian," and like, she's like, she like through this journey connects with her culture.
Do y'all remember just the other day we were talking about I think it was just yesterday we were talking about this, how people get on to like say a white author for not writing a person of color main character, whatever. So that line right there was like a big light bulb for me, because if I was writing this book from Hannah's point of view as she having a white mother, Nigerian father, obviously that's not something I've ever lived, and I would have never had that perspective where she went on about how that bothered her so bad. I would have never thought about that, because that's not an experience that I've had, and that was such a good moment from this author that I just, it was like, oh, huh, I never would have thought about that. And that would have been missing had I wrote this book.
I think it was a good moment too for maybe like, I mean, I don't know how many men are reading this book, but I think like it would be a good moment for men too to also realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut
Boy,
up.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Read the room, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was gonna say was, and Amy's question, where she said, was anyone surprised that there wasn't resentment to Lawrence? That he was adopted by the family, even though he knew he had a daughter somewhere else. I am surprised about that. But didn't she kind of bring that up for like a second? Excuse me, like a hot minute. Wasn't that brought up somewhere?
Yeah.
I felt like I remember seeing that. But
Amy,
yeah.
do you mean that like that Hannah would resent Lawrence for being part of the family?
Yes. Like be so jealous, like, wow, this kid was brought in and raised by my dad.
I think she did say
and here
something
I
like,
am.
yeah. I think she did say something about that, like, you know, why would he take this child that's not related to him and raise him? And there was something wrong with her, you know. I think she did touch on it for like a little bit. But she forgave it, so
I thought in general Hannah was more forgiving than I am or would be in that situation. I mean, it's really hard to know how one would react in that, but like reading it, I felt sometimes frustrated by just how forgiving she was.
Right.
Yes, very quick too.
That she moves on instantly. Yeah. And she did with all of the characters, right? She like forgave the dad pretty much instantly by going there, right? And wanting and like still yearning for this relationship. She never really seemed like angry or resentful.
Yeah. Except for that last moment when she took 2 weeks to forgive her family and Lawrence, you know, because she went back to California. That drew the line, and that she wasn't that quick to forgive.
I can see her forgiving her mom quickly. Like, that one didn't bother me as much because, like, I mean, that's her mom. That was her.
Yeah.
They were it.
And they were close. They were the only ones they had, so.
Right.
I did see that.
Yeah, it's also was very quick, but I can understand why, but it also felt very like just
too quick. Yeah.
A little too quick to like
because
wrap it up in one conversation, in one sitting, you know?
Right. Well, and at this point, like, what could she really do about it, though? Like,
yeah. Because
I either lose you forever, too.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, like, or she could be mad at her and then have no parents, or she could forgive her mom and still, you know, move on.
Yeah. Right.
What were you going to say, Sarah? Sorry, there's a delay. Sorry, guys.
I'm just
talking over each other sometimes.
And there is a delay. I'm sorry. We are. I was just going to say that, but sometimes the person that you're closest to, that's the person you can get the maddest at, because you know they will forgive you because, you know, that's your mom. So sometimes, you know, you lash out at the people you're closest to. But with her, she was just like, okay, I forgive you.
Yeah, and Casey brings up a good point. Like, at that point, she doesn't really she feels so alone. Like, what would happen if she didn't forgive her?
I think that was what I was looking at it as. Yeah. Like, okay, if I don't forgive her, what family do I have? Because I don't have a dad. My mom, she was trying to do the best she could for me. Now I'm a little upset, yeah. But what good is it going to do to carry that hurt around in my heart? It's not going to do anybody any good except for hurt me.
And her mom had, like, her heart in the right place. She was just trying to protect her.
She did. Yeah. Like I said, I saw that one as the most, you know, easy one.
Would you have gone to Nigeria when the siblings called and said, hey, she kind of needs you? Or would you have been like, nope, I don't have a horse in that race. I'm not going to see the wife. Nope, I'm staying home.
Oh, yeah, that the mom went to Nigeria.
like,
Come
I'm
on, Mom.
going.
Of course she would go. I know.
Dude, I'd be like, I don't know about that. I don't want to hang out with my ex-lover's wife who just found out about me.
Yeah.
I
No
found
thanks.
that
I'll
very hard
FaceTime
to
you,
believe.
baby.
I was not convinced that felt very unrealistic to me.
It did.
Yeah, it did. I mean, one thing is like, oh, my child needs me. She's hurting. I'm going to go. But then I'm also going to have to deal with this whole family that, I'm the other woman.
Yeah.
I just, so.
Yeah. Like Sarah said, I would have went, but I'd have stayed at a hotel.
Exactly.
So,
like, bring her to me.
At that point, why does she get on the plane again? Like, what's happening with Hannah that she feels like the need to? Because they're like, I know that Tiwa calls her, but like, is it really that desperate of it? I don't remember it being such
Was it because she figured out that the aunt knew? Was it after that? Whenever she figured
it was
out.
because.
That's when her mom was trying to.
Yeah. It was when she thought that they were liking her to get the inheritance, and that's when she ran back. Right. And then they wouldn't talk to her again.
Right. Yeah, I agree with Audra. She's saying that when it was like when the mom was trying to convince her to go to the funeral, that would have been the time to tell her everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like, you should go. No, he never had wanted anything to do with me. Oh, but when you were 16, he wanted to. Yeah. So yeah, it would seem like it would have been a good time to bring that up.
Yeah, give her the whole picture. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good quick read, and at the time I enjoyed it a lot, but like reflecting on it, I have some issues with things.
Yeah. I was just about to say that a while ago.
I know we have some problems with it.
Every time I read a book, I want to give it 5 stars, and then after I talk to you all about it, I'm like, well, I don't know, do I?
It's so true. However many stars I go
like I said, I enjoyed reading. I wanted to see how it ends. So
it's a good palate cleanser.
You're going Goodreads in a little bit. Like, Sarah dropped it, Susie dropped it.
Yeah, we're all gonna go down a star.
I did like it. Like I said. Yeah.
Casey's question.
I'll leave it. I tried to leave it as my first impression. But
yeah. Same. How would you have felt about your house going to your husband's child outside of the marriage? That's a great question, Casey.
I would have been embarrassed. Embarrassed. Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like another slap in the face to the wife.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, that's why I was surprised she didn't say anything, and it was the older daughter that had the fit. Like, if I was the mother, the wife, yeah, you heard from me during that will reading.
And how can you do that? Like, I guess estate law is different in different countries, but if the wife is still alive, doesn't the estate go to your spouse, and then your children don't get your inheritance until after your spouse? Unless it's like clearly divided.
I think if it's his. Yeah. No, I think if it was his house, if he paid and built, then he could do whatever he wanted in the will. You don't have to.
Like after marriage, like if my husband was to go build a house,
your children and your spouse.
Yeah, but like even if my husband was to go build a house right now, and we're married, but and my name's not on the loan or anything, if we get a divorce, that's still half mine. Or if he dies, that's my house. Even if he leaves it to our children, my kids will get it after I die because it's community property. So, I mean, unless he had that before, it was like a family house that was his grandfather's.
Maybe the laws are different.
I don't know.
I think there are different laws in Nigeria. But
and was it his dad's house? Because he took over his dad's business. So it was like a family home, like that went back generations.
No, because the daughters say that he built it. built it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then,
Okay.
and then he says like, no, he hired the architects, the engine, that. But so it was a pretty I think it was a pretty recent. I mean,
Mhm.
like their
So it
life
was like a
together.
community property ordeal, and that really was his wife. It should have been his wife.
Yeah. I think
I
Amy brings
really didn't
up,
think it
Absolutely,
either.
it should have been hers.
yeah. I
I
think
was
it
thinking
brings
it
up,
must have been like a cultural, like a different country has a different law type thing.
yeah, definitely. I think Amy brings
Okay.
up some good
Yeah,
points about like how like the man it was so I can't remember the name of the father, but like he was so forgiven. Nobody was like really angry at him for cheating on his wife, having this child outside the marriage, and then not having the
yeah.
relation.
I
It was
think
like everyone was just like, "Your father is this amazing person,"
Mhm.
and it was like no one would say anything other than what
yeah,
a wonderful person
and
he
it was
was.
really yeah. Except for like the
Probably they would
oldest
have been
sister, she was
differently.
the one that was mad at him, and she took it out on
Right.
her.
Right.
Yeah. It probably would
Yeah,
have
if
been
he was
different
alive, I think they would have
reaction
had something to
had
say.
he been alive.
Stop.
Because I
If
mean,
he had
he
been
was
alive,
dead.
Megan.
What is it gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like he was let off again, like everyone in the story was forgiven very
Yeah.
quickly.
Yes.
Oh, thank
Casey, I thought it was your first event. I'm glad you're here. And there's some other names that I don't see as often. So I'm really excited you guys are
Mhm.
here for this.
yeah.
Yes.
It's fun when we do
It
like
would not
different
be as fun with just the three of us talking without you guys in the chat because you all break up
Yeah.
extremely good points that then we bounce off of.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was just us, we would
Absolutely.
not. We wouldn't be that good.
Yeah.
We probably talk about the book 10 minutes and then we go on to like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll go off tangent here. We'll go off script. Y'all keep us on.
Yeah. Well, we always have to go off script a little bit at the end.
Of course. There's other things to talk about, but y'all make us last longer on the book.
Yeah.
Amy,
Yeah,
I
Amy, will you
love
let us
that. You're gonna have to let me know.
know? Mm-hmm.
Hey, even if you don't pick the books, just come hang out with us anyway.
Yeah. That's true, Trisha. No one's gonna say anything bad about people when they die, you're right. I guess it's unrealistic to think. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I think it was just maybe it's not that they need to forgive him or like say nice things, but I just felt like
Mhm.
people were pretty insensitive in general to the
Yeah.
fact that like she had been deprived of a relationship and all they did was like talk about how wonderful he was and like
Right.
what an amazing father he was and it's like hello like
Right.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Let's have one session where we bash dad.
yeah
Tell
just a
everybody
little
what's wrong, what happened,
yeah
everything he's done wrong.
yeah
Let's break out the wine and let's talk about him.
yeah
and like, I guess I can see like the
But I
children,
think maybe not.
them being positive and still thinking he's great, but like, I don't know. As a woman and a wife, she should have had some strong feelings. But do you think she knew? I mean, truly, don't
Yeah.
they
And I
know?
think,
Don't the women know?
yeah.
It probably wasn't an isolated event. A woman always knows.
It's a
So
cultural
maybe she
thing
just
because,
got
like,
over it.
yeah, because in Nigeria, it's different, a different level of respect for parents and for older people than we have
Mhm.
here. So I think that might have been part of why they were like, "Oh, he's so great. He provided for us, and
Mhm.
yes, he did this one little thing." But I think they have a better like respect, and you don't go against him, and in Nigeria, I think it's a cultural thing too.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, Casey, mine isn't a parent, but I completely understand. Like, I don't, I don't see forgiving that easy.
No.
No.
And that's a feeling of a grandparent. So I can only imagine how much deeper that hurt would be for a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Emily. Nigerian prince. He really was like a Nigerian prince, though, right? Like the fact that he was, I mean, right? Like they were famous and in the tabloids and stuff.
They were extremely wealthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe the marriage was arranged. Yeah, I don't know. Did they mention that at all? If the marriage was arranged?
Oh, I don't
We
know.
didn't really get a lot from this. We didn't really
Mhm.
get a lot
Yeah.
from the wife, except for that one hallway conversation.
Right. Casey,
We
I was
didn't get
asking myself
anything
the
from
same
her,
thing.
like a chapter from hers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was asking
I
myself
think it would have
the
been
whole
interesting
time
to
why
get a
she wasn't
chapter
more
from
mad.
her POV.
Mm-hmm. Oh, from the wife? Yeah. Definitely.
From the wife, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny. Oh, just the Nigerian prince thing.
What? I don't understand that. Explain it to me.
Oh, yeah, like there used to be these email scams like in the 90s and like early 2000s where they would send like it would always be like that a Nigerian prince was like contacting you and you needed to send them like
Yeah, like I've
thousands.
seen
Stuff
like
too
Dr.
money.
Phil episodes where women would like send all their money to these Nigerian men.
Yeah.
Yeah. To marry a prince. Like, if you send me $7,000, then I will send you 7 million. You know,
Right.
like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But some people just do it.
Yeah, that would have been a good scene. Her going in and like trashing his office to get some of that hurt out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dr. Phil.
Listen, I went down a Dr. Phil rabbit hole the other day.
No.
There was this couple on TikTok who she like documented his cheating and her finding out about it on TikTok, and then they went on Dr. Phil.
Oh my God.
So I had to watch the episode, and then I had to like watch all of her videos, and then I had to watch the mistress. She came on the show too, and it was just a shit show. But I love some Dr. Phil.
That's so funny. That's hilarious.
Drama.
My husband hates it. He's like, turn that off.
Oh, that's so funny.
That is funny.
Any other thoughts on this book that we haven't addressed? Because I'd love to hear about like what people are reading now and like what's coming up. If is there anything else that we haven't gotten to that we didn't talk about?
Well, we have Invisible Girl, not
Yeah.
this week, but the next.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then the X-Hex.
I'm so
Oh, yeah,
excited.
TikTok is so
I'm
fake.
excited to read that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you're right, Amy. It probably is. Steve Wilkos. I watched an episode of Maury the other day for the first time in a long time. I think it was Maury. Yeah. It's so funny.
So funny.
I'm so excited
And
for
the
the
X-Hex
X
is going to be
too,
good.
Alex. So
Yeah,
excited.
I mean, it's
Yes.
going to be good.
I'm excited to read that one.
Has anyone gotten their books yet?
Yeah.
I saw Mary Emma got hers.
No.
Well, I mean, Facebook was down all day, so I haven't been able to
A couple
pay
people
attention
have
to
it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, but I haven't gotten mine.
I
Yeah.
finished The Last House on Needless Street.
Is that one? That one was horror, right?
Oh, how was
It's
it?
horror, and it was crazy. I cannot really give a review without spoiling it, but I'm not a typical horror reader.
Would you
and
rate it?
I gave it 4 stars.
Okay.
At one point, I was like, "This is weird. I don't like this. I want it to just be over." But then the more I came and the more she revealed, I was like, oh, this is so good.
All right,
So
it was pretty
good.
good.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Audrey
I'm
got
going to try to get to Survive the Night soon.
Oh, you haven't read that one yet? I wonder what you'll think, Megan. You have to let me know.
Oh,
Oh, a lot of people are reading My Best Friend's Exorcism. That book
I
was
am.
so good. You're reading it too, Sarah? Yeah, the book was so
Yes.
good. I'm like
for the devil
obsessed with
prompt.
Brady Hendrix right now.
Yeah.
Sarah Landis, I would have told you that it was better from when I last told you that it was weird, but we've not been able to talk all day. So.
Yeah.
Right.
It's been so quiet without you guys today. Like, where is everybody?
I know, work was so boring.
More chat.
I woke
And
up
Susie,
and I had
you
some
had posted
messages for you
about what the
all.
author sent you.
Oh,
And I could never click on the picture. So I'm like, what did she say? Because the picture would never wrote. So I didn't know. I'm like, what did the author tell you about your
I contacted this
Facebook
author
or
because I read this really, really silly like raunchy romance book called Scary Daddy. It's a Halloween romance. And she has another book called Pumpkin Spice Daddy, and I really wanted to read that, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I messaged the author and was like, please, I need to read this book. And she messaged me back today and was like, it's being re-released by a different publisher, and I'll send it to you as soon as it's getting released on Thursday. So I messaged this to them in the chat, and then as soon as I sent that, then
we
Facebook
didn't see it.
Did anybody look to see if it was on NetGalley?
No.
Like, I want to see if this is there.
I'm not on NetGalley, so I don't know. I should probably get on it.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, especially since you have a Kindle.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was
Pumpkin Spice Daddy.
Yeah.
All of her books are about like different like daddy doms. Like they're so funny. And they're all like 50 pages. So
well, that's not bad.
No, they're like novellas. So you're not investing a lot of time. But they're really funny.
I want to say Tessa likes the blinds a lot. I could be wrong, though, but I feel like she
likes what? Oh, the blinds?
Mm-hmm.
I read the blinds recently too, and I liked it. It was definitely different than other books I've read.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like a Western. You'll never look at a pumpkin spice.
I read that one.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you're right. I'll let you guys know when I finish it. I can't wait.
I want a pumpkin latte now.
Yeah.
I know, me too.
I'm a weird crazy.
I'm reading The One right now, and oh my god, it's so good, guys. Like I can't put it down. It's so good.
I really like that one.
What is it?
The One by John Mars.
That's one of my favorites I read last year.
So it's like I didn't know how different it would be than the soulmate equation because it's kind of based on the same premise that there's like a DNA looking.
Yeah, but it's a little darker than
it's a little darker, yeah.
So can your soulmate be literally anyone? Like if you feel like you are a heterosexual, could your soulmate be someone of the same gender? Or would it just
and that may or may not be one of the plot lines.
So say that may be one of the things. Shocking to learn from paper that you're gay.
You're my soulmate. I guess I better figure out how to.
You're my soulmate. Like, no, I'm not. I'm into women. No, according to your soulmate.
Like, the One follows like 5 different couples like that took this test, and like it's really you'd like this book, Megan, and it's on Kindle Unlimited if you still have your subscription.
Oh, yeah,
it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wonder, like, how many people would take the test, like, after you've been married for, like, 10 years?
Yeah.
I'd just be interested to see if the science matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what's your compatibility?
They kind of address all of it. It's really well written that they kind of go into all the questions that you ask yourself, they address. Yeah, it's really good.
And all the problems you would face if you did do that while you were married and found your soulmate.
Interesting.
No, it's
Maybe
very
one
interesting.
day
It's
I'll
very good.
be able to.
Yes.
Jill, are you talking about the one that you're reading that it's or are you talking about It? Sorry, I didn't see that was capitalized. You're reading It. Yeah. That book's like 800 pages, right?
I
700?
thought she was reading the one. And I did that the other day when she said, read it. And I thought she was talking about something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what are you reading? And then I missed the IT that she told us you were reading. Like, what did she did say the title? Yes, she did. It's
Yeah.
Audra, have you been, are you married or have you been married for very long?
Point.
I've been married for almost 9 years, and Casey says she's been married for almost 11, or married 11 years. I would definitely take the test.
You would take it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in my first year of marriage, I probably would have been like, no, I love him no matter what. We're perfect for each other. Now I have to put up this shit for 10 years. Are we soulmates?
Are we soulmates? Are we sure about this?
Happy anniversary.
Amy,
maybe you found your gold card.
Let's look it up now. The movie Timer? Is that another DNA one?
What
Amy
is
was
it?
saying. Oh, Amy was said, have you ever seen the movie Timer? Same thoughts. I don't know if she meant about the one, like similar plot line. I'm not sure. She'll let us know.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard that one.
That's cool. 10, 10, 10.
Oh, that is cool.
Our 9-year dating anniversary is in October, and we only dated for 3 months before we. I only knew him for 3 months before we decided to get married. So
that's awesome.
Quick.
Hey, it worked.
Little Riley.
Oh, Amy, that sounds like a cool premise. That sounds fun.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
That is interesting.
Amy called the one the Black Mirror soulmate equation. It totally is like that. That's funny.
Yeah.
I can't watch that show. It's so creepy. All right, guys. Well, so we've got Invisible Girl coming up. I'm gonna have to give that a quick reread before that chat, but I'm looking forward to it. I really liked that book.
Yeah, I accidentally read like 150 pages the other day. I didn't even mean to.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm gonna finish that up this week.
I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I can't think of anything else.
Halfway through.
Subscribe if you are not, because you need to be subscribing, because this is where we're going to be doing all of our videos. Look for the Google form that I'm going to be putting out, and I promise we won't spam you. And then that's really, really it. So work on Invisible Girl and the X. If there's anything else that you all want to do a chat about, reach out, because chances are one of the three of us has read it and will be interested in doing a chat, or we will read it, move it up, and do a chat. Because if the chances are, if you're wanting to do it, other people probably are too. Oh, yeah. Casey, the Google form is it's just going to be like your name and your email address. That way, we're able to send out messages when, like today, with Facebook being down. It's going to be private. No, it's going to go straight to our Blue Book Smart inbox. No one else will see it except for the three of us. So that's it.
And spoiler alert. I have that one, Alex. I would do a chat on that one, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to read all the feels. I was sent an arc of that book. So yeah, I would love to do one on spoiler alert.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And she has a new book
Yeah,
coming out.
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, all the feels. It comes out October
that's cool.
26th, I think. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
definitely. Thanks,
All right,
everyone.
well,
for
you all
tuning
have a
in.
great
Definitely gonna read that one.
night.
Good night, everybody.